Today we're joined by Professor Joshua Castellino, who is the Executive Dean at the College of Arts, Law and Social Sciences at Brunel University London. He's an international law scholar and a strong advocate for human rights, equality and social justice. He has also worked extensively with the United Nations as well as smaller foundations to help minority and indigenous rights. And as Executive Dean, he focuses on interdisciplinary methods that ensure that there is some collaboration between social sciences, legal studies, and global equality. Professor Castellino has authored several books and has also inspired lots of students to think critically about contemporary global issues. Hello and welcome to EduCon's podcast series, where we speak to global higher education institutions to understand what's happening in the world of education. My name is Jannavi, and this conversation is brought to you by Java and Skoda. Professor Castellino, thank you so much for joining with us today.
It's a pleasure, Janvi. Thank you.
Very exciting stuff that you guys have been working on. Would love to hear more about it. When we look at, say, for instance, how Brunel is preparing its students, right, in law and social sciences, how do you want to help them, in a sense, to navigate these really complex global challenges that we're seeing now in today's world?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think every university needs to ask itself questions like this because the world is increasingly complex. It's increasingly interconnected. And actually, the idea that you could come from university with one subject discipline and somehow find yourself a creative and innovative and thriving role is already questionable. In fact, what we need to do is to equip students with a range of different skills and draw out their talents. And what we do at Brunel, really, in my college, the College of Arts, Law and Social Sciences, is to try and integrate a program that will create very, very high quality professionals who are adept at their subject. So they have the subject expertise that you'd expect from a university graduate, but they also have soft skills. They have skills in media, in communication, in legal matters. They understand how education works, and they are able to put this into something that gives them a major advantage. And that one of the big advantages that Brunel has to offer is because we have about 160, 170 different nationalities on campus among our students. And we have incredible diversity among our staff. I'm from Mumbai. I grew up in Mumbai. And that basically means that we equip our students with the ability to win and succeed in whatever jurisdiction that they may find work.
Wow, that's fascinating. And I'm so glad to hear that you have such a diverse range of students as well as faculty members. It's really fantastic to hear. When we look at, for instance, how your college integrates sustainability and ethics into the social sciences curriculum, how would you say you would define that to be?
So there are a number of ways in which you can address that. So first of all, we do programs on the Sustainable Development Goals themselves. We do geography, we do anthropology, we do a range of subjects that essentially talk about ethics, talk about good practice, but also relate it in our political science degrees to how societies are dealing with it. In our law degrees, we talk about environmental law, we talk about climate change. I've worked on climate change issues over the world in nearly 60 countries. We bring practice into the classroom in a meaningful way. But actually, we also go further. We have a new program right now in filmmaking, for instance, done by arts and creative industries people, where literally we are working on industry standards on sustainability and filmmaking in the context of the green challenge that we face. So sustainability, climate change, ethics, these are all issues that are intrinsically connected. And in our curricula and in our research practice, we try to, first of all, do two things. One is we try to inform and influence industry, government, all kinds of other actors about what they need to do on these areas. But then we also talk to those actors and bring that experience into our classroom in order to equip students to be able to play meaningful roles in what is emerging as the economy of the future.
Wow. And when we look at, say, for instance, the kind of core research areas that you guys have been working on, can we learn more about that as well?
Yeah, so the college itself teaches and offers programs in 21 disciplines. So it's one of the widest at Brunel because we offer things in terms of dance and drama and creative industries and filmmaking, but then we also offer anthropology and geography and criminology and sociology and media and communication. We also train teachers and teach people about education. And of course, we have our law school. So in a sense, we have a really, really widest range of portfolio that you can imagine in the context of Brunel University. And that basically means that we have a range of different people schooled in a variety of different backgrounds from all over the world. So bringing this together into one mix of subjects and one mix of skills in order to equip the next generation of students, we believe will give our students a competitive advantage in any market that they choose to compete in. So they may be lawyers and they may do very well in law, but if they have the ability to communicate and make films, that gives them an advantage in their profession. It also gives them insights into things like media law, which is emerging. If you are an educator and you're studying for a PG cert in education, that's the postgraduate certificate in education, which gives you your qualification as a teacher, well, you'll benefit from having all of these other disciplines and expertise within the college. So, all in all, our research and our teaching is intrinsically linked, and we hope to make a difference in each of the 21 disciplines in which we operate. But we also hope that the students that emerge from Brunel University will have that edge over their rivals.
Very interesting. And if I were to ask about, say, any scope for an international collaboration, maybe with research or anything else, perhaps with India or even other countries that I'm sure you guys have partnerships with, how does that look like?
So research partnerships are the lifeblood of Brunel because Brunel is a research intensive institution. And what that basically means is that our scholars and our teachers, our lecturers, our professors are really measured by the extent to which they do well in research. Now, research means a number of different things in the 21 disciplines. In some disciplines, it means providing cutting edge writing. So, for instance, our creative arts program, our creative writing program is one that we're incredibly proud of. And of course, their research ends up in books. But then that's very different from research in law, for instance, which is about writing papers in legal journals, but also influencing the practice of law. So the collaboration for research with Brunel is immense. And because of the fact that we have a diverse faculty that is drawn from literally every part of the world, we automatically come with links to those parts of the world, and we come with links to those actors from those parts of the world. So we are very open for collaboration at international level. We would want to find new partners. We would want to learn from our partners. So it's not just a old-fashioned British university that's going out there to teach. We're actually here to learn, and we want to connect with other scholars who are looking at issues that we research in our colleges and at Brunel University, and we want to together take that journey towards a deeper understanding of the world we live in, to be able to produce outputs that can influence and change society. Because the other element of Brunel's key strategy is it's research intensive and industry linked, which essentially means that we're not just doing book research to write papers and get cited and have competitions about who's cited more. We want our research to influence the places we work in and to influence the industries we work in. So we really welcome these collaboration for researchers who are looking to shape the future. That's who we want to work with. And I welcome you to come and look at our website and connect with us.
Wonderful. And looking at, say, for instance, the tangible impact, right, of that kind of research or academia, do you think universities play a big role in, say, shaping global justice or inclusive policy making? What role do you think higher education institutes play here?
So, in traditionally, higher education institutions have been quite far removed from policy. So, policy has often been dictated by a few small universities who have particular privileges that are attached to a particular government or a particular governance class. And that has meant that the policies that we've created have been very narrow. They haven't really served the masses who face different kinds of challenges. Universities like Brunel are different because we are not in an ivory tower. We are very much part of a social milieu Our students come from a wide range of background, our staff come from a wide range of background, and we work on very practical subject orientations where there's a real chance to shape it. So institutions like us need to take responsibility to make sure the research we produce within is not just academic navel gazing, looking at something and trying to polish it better, but actually is designed to try and make sure that intellectual thought goes into real policy making, and that real policy making engages real policy makers faced with real challenges. And we take great pride in that in Brunel, from working with our local council here in the London Borough of Hillingdon, all the way to working with the United Nations. We make it a point to make sure that our research speaks to real questions and challenges society is facing in order to bring that more thoughtful, less politically motivated engagement to problem solving.
Wonderful. And lastly, I'd love to ask, how is Brunel therefore encouraging students to become more socially conscious leaders?
So Brunel, this is a very big element. Social consciousness is a big element to Brunel, and certainly was the big attraction for someone like me who's worked on many of these issues to come to Brunel. And I joined Brunel only 6 or 7 months ago to found this particular college, which brings all these disciplines together. In Brunel's case, we do it in many different ways. First of all, we engage with our students from a very wide range, but then it's not just a question of having that diversity within. It's trying to encourage people to talk about those experiences in such a way that they influence not just their fellow classmates and the people teaching them, but they make those issues part of the curriculum. So that's a very important element in doing it. Brunel is very proud of its green credentials, and we've been recognized for this. And this is an important element because the history of Brunel is around engineering. And you would think engineering and the notion of engineering and green might be incompatible, but here at Brunel, we are increasingly making it compatible. I gave you the example earlier about filmmaking, sustainable filmmaking. So these are aspects that play an important role in us. But above all, what we have here at Brunel is a large family of the world's nations. And that teaches people to interact on a regular basis with people who are totally different from their mindset. They might have a different religion, they might have a different idea, they might have grown up with totally different values. But in an environment when you come with such a great diversity, you immediately feel that privilege of being able to learn from other people. And that's one of the things that we are also most proud of, that we offer an environment where you learn not just British culture because we're in Britain, but you actually learn global cultures and you learn how to navigate them in a manner that's sophisticated and that will allow you to feel comfortable enough to be able to work in any setting across the world.
Fantastic. I'm so glad to hear the kind of work that you guys have been doing. It's very fascinating to hear how interdisciplinary this whole system is, right? Dr. Castellino, thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. Thank you so much once again.
It's been a pleasure, Janvi. Thank you very much for your questions.